So today we're back with another new fragrance release. We have another Elixir. So I think last year and this year are going to be the years of the Elixirs. We already have another Elixir flanker from this brand, a different line though, but it's Invictus Victory Elixir, which is a clone of Invictus Victory, this one right here. So for what it's worth, Invictus Victory I think turned out really good. It's quite a bit different compared to the original, and I would say this by far is the biggest deviation that we have currently, maybe besides this one, in the Invictus lineup. So if you're someone who doesn't like Invictus, there's a really high chance that you might actually like Victory. And of course, Paco Rabanne released 1 million Elixir last year, and then we have something like Dior Sauvage Elixir, so I can imagine that we're going to be seeing quite a few of these. I'm excited to check this one out. I did cheat and look at the note breakdown, and from what they gave us, it looks solid. And so we're gonna go ahead and break into this one. I'm gonna tell you how it smells, how it compares to the original, and if I think it's gonna be something that's worth picking up once you can get it here in the US easier and even for a discount. Alrighty, here we have the bottle. Looks very sharp. We've got a pretty strong black to deep blue gradient on the bottle, or on the camera rather. Kind of looks just black all the way through, doesn't it? Maybe not. My viewfinder's pretty small, but you can see a little bit of the blue. But yeah, definitely a pretty aggressive look. I think it looks very sharp. There's your Victory logo on the front, and let's get in this one. I think it's going to be pretty good. I have high hopes here, so let's see. So you do get a little bit of that bubblegummy sweetness and some of that Invictus Victory smell immediately, and so it kind of establishes that right away. Getting some resins, some real nice heavy sweet notes in here. It does smell really attractive, and I could tell this is going to be a head turner. You know, this is one of those things where it's kind of bridging the gap between just your general mass-pleasing sweet scent, that kind of bubblegummy sweetness, very trendy, but then they're kind of walking it over into a category that's a little bit more daring. Now, overall, the scent, I don't believe this to be daring. However, it just in terms of what they're utilizing alongside with that sweetness is kind of a different take for sure. And so, you know, you're getting almost even a little bit of this, I don't know, not really a smokiness, but kind of this balsamic nature and this kind of resinous nature going along with that sweetness. A little bit of a kind of this, I don't know, it's kind of this almost grape smell slightly, ever so slightly. This grape bubblegummy smell, the sweetness, these resins, and that sort of thing. Trying to pick it apart as best as I can here. I do like it though. I think this is pretty solid. And I think this is the type of thing that people would be more so interested in when it comes to an Invictus flanker. So you have the original, which is not very widely accepted here in the community, Legend, Intense, Invictus Aqua, of course, and I don't know, maybe one or two more that I'm missing of that line, and some of which are discontinued as well. So those really don't get the type of love that I think this would. You know, this is really branching far off from that aquatic and citrusy ambroxany sweet DNA, and we're getting into something that is going to be much more rich, much more interesting, and just a little bit more unique overall. So we'll take a look at that note breakdown that I was referencing here. Again, 4 notes. We have olebanum, vanilla, amber, and tonka bean. So really not a whole lot of a surprise, and also it's pretty similar to Victory, at least the notes that are here. So vanilla, tonka, and olebanum carry over, and amber if I didn't say that. So all of the notes that are in this are also in Victory. So what's the difference? Well, again, this one's got even more of a balsamic smell. Now that it's starting to dry down, some cedar wood is kind of coming through to me, kind of this dry cedar wood. And also, one thing that I'm also picking up on, some sort of floral. I'm not exactly sure what it would be. I'm not the expert on florals. Could be just a little bit of like a jasmine perhaps, or maybe a tuberose or something along those lines. But you kind of pick up on it. There's just an ever so slight little bit of a freshness, just a hint of it. Nothing strong. It's not throwing this off track, but just enough there to kind of have a fighting chance at getting a little bit of balance out of this one, so it's not too sweet all the way through. It's kind of how I'm seeing that one come across, and I do really enjoy it. And concentration, what do we even have here? I don't even know. It's an Elixir Parfum Intense. So I don't know if they're actually, are they, oh, Parfum Intense. So I guess they are marketing this as a parfum, I would imagine. And here's what's interesting. So I'm looking at the back of the box. It's made in France. That's not interesting at all. Vegan formula, not interesting either as what we've been having, but I've never seen this before. Maybe I just never have paid attention, but the last thing is it says very long lasting. Like, they literally put it on the box. I don't think I've ever seen something like this. I'm sure maybe it's been out there before. I usually don't even really pay too much attention to the boxes, but right there, I've never seen it marketed as long-lasting before anything. So I guess we'll find out. I can tell you it's not going anywhere yet. It hasn't been very long, but usually you can tell when you first apply something if it's going to die off pretty quick or if there's a good chance it's going to be in it for the long run. And this one just has a ton of substance the way it's sitting right now. Everything feels very packed together in terms of the smell. It's not starting to get light and it's not starting to wisp away. And even though it's not too oily, but there's a little bit of an oily factor to it. So I guess, you know, definitely makes sense that it is a parfum here, Parfum Intense, right? So kind of like a lait parfum maybe, I'm not sure. But I do like that. Definitely a little bit of that floral hint like I was saying. Kind of resinous, sweet, balsamic. Not really a smokiness, but kind of a bright wispiness as well coming from here. It's really different. The vanilla is working with the tonka bean perfectly here. I mean, that's a combination that will always work, and it's definitely giving you that nice kind of mass appealing sweetness. Let's see about the comparisons. Actually, one thing that I did notice here, the longevity and sillage voting things on Fragrantica are already off the charts. Eternal and enormous. So whether that's actually true or not, we're going to find out. Usually the trolls vote in the opposite direction, so maybe people who've gotten their hands on it, maybe it's true. Comparisons. Invictus Victory, the original, for sure there are some similarities, and it makes sense. Could you say that this is just a more amped up, stronger, and more interesting version of Victory? I would say that's definitely a great argument to make. Next up we have Le Male, or Les Beaux, Les Parfums, that's in the Le Male line. A little, not a ton. Jean Paul Gaultier Scandal Parfum, or Lait Parfum, not a whole lot. That, along with the original, kind of have some more aromatics at play than this does. 1 million Elixir, no, I don't think so. 1 million Intense, I don't think so. One thing I would say that I'm not even seeing in here at all, a little bit of 1 million Parfum, again, the florals, ever so slightly. That tuberose white floral smell, I'm getting a little bit of it in here. And so if I were to compare it to 1 million, it would be that. But again, it's very much a stretch. They're kind of taking that accord and plucking it in here, but then you're getting a whole bunch of a different deal all around compared to 1 million Parfum. So overall, I think this is definitely a deviation of Victory, but also kind of doing its own thing as well, which I think is pretty cool. Look, I mean, at the end of the day, this still isn't going to please the snobs and the elitists, okay? You really, if you're looking to Paco Rabanne for your taste to be completely just revolutionized, then you're just probably not in the right place at all. That being said, for people who want something that is mass-pleasing, wearable, get your money's worth, and very likely to be long-lasting, they're even marketing it as such, then this would be a great place to put your money once it becomes available. Definitely could be one of the more solid releases that I've gotten in so far. The year is young. Hopefully we get many more than this, and maybe of which will be better. But so far, I have to say I really like this a lot. And I think if I were to point people towards buying an Invictus flanker in 2023, this would be one that I would tell people to look into, assuming it's available at the time of them asking me. So I think that's going to do it for me. Invictus Victory Parfum Intense. Elixir, completely forgot. Invictus Victory Elixir. I like it, and hopefully you guys are able to check this one out if you're interested here soon once it becomes available. That's going to do it for me, guys. I do have a mailing list you can sign up to if you want to get some of the more rare, hard to find, discontinued men's fragrances on the market. Things like, Luminous Night by Dolce & Gabbana, L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum and Extreme by Guerlain, Dior Fahrenheit Parfum. What else? Dior Homme Parfum. That one's a rare one. La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electrique. All of these things that pretty much always say out of stock 99% of the time on discounters. If you get on that mailing list, anytime something like that comes into stock or anytime a really good deal comes up, I send out an email blast to you guys. Sometimes the discounter emailing alert systems don't work that well. They're not very reliable. I check the discounters front to back every day and I stay on top of it for you guys. So get on that list. The list itself, signing up doesn't cost you anything, but be warned, you will be spending some money when those emails come in because the deals are going to be great. That being said, that's your one-stop shop if you want to have a fighting chance at getting some of those hard-to-find scents. That's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care. I do really like the look of this bottle. Definitely looks better in person. Pretty cool.